So, are you planning to register with the UKNMC but not very sure as to whether to write the IELTS or the OET as a way of proving your English language proficiency? This video, I'm going to give you 5 answers. No, I'm not going to give you answers. I'm going to ask you 5. I wouldn't want to ask you the question, but I'm going to put out the 5 questions out there, and then based on the answers you choose, probably you should be able to tell as to whether the IELTS is for you or the OET will be the best fit for you. So for most people, choosing between the IELTS and the OET is a major hurdle for them, and I'm going to help you make that choice once and for all. My name is Seth Majuma. You can simply call me Kobe. If you are new on my channel, what this means is that probably you've not subscribed to this channel. So what I need you to do is to hit the subscribe button under this video and then become part of the family so that we learn together. This channel is dedicated to talking about nursing in the UK, IELTS, lifestyle, and then making money from side hustles as an overseas nurse. Now the first question I would want you to ask yourself is, which of these 2 tests has cheap and then readily available practice materials per your location? Now if you want to write the IELTS, ask yourself, is it easy to get practice materials? If you want to write the OET, ask yourself, is it easy to get practice materials? For all you know, probably looking at where you live, all your friends, all the people you know wrote IELTS. And then what this means is that it's much easier getting IELTS practice materials within this locality. For all you know, your friends wrote OET. What this means is that based on where you are, you'll be able to get OET practice materials. So the first thing you should ask yourself is, which of these 2 tests has readily available materials? Now let's say if I want to register with IELTS, will I get other practice materials aside the ones British Council will give me, or aside the ones IDP will give me, or aside the ones the Cambridge assessment or whatever will give me? So that's one thing you have to ask yourself. And if you're registering for the OET, ask yourself the same question. If I want to go in there, apart from the practice materials I'll be giving, where else can I get practice materials? Probably. For me, I did write IELTS because looking around, I realized that most of my friends had written these exams and had the practice materials. So what they think is that it was much easier for me to get the practice materials as well. So use this as a yardstick to choose between the IELTS and then the OET. And the number 2 question you should ask yourself is, which has available center in your country? There are most people who are willing to write the OET, but the sad aspect is that there is no OET center in their country. What this means is that if they still want to persist, then they have to travel to a different country also wherever to register. There's a friend in Namibia or Kenya or one of the African countries who contacted me and said she's made her research about the IELTS and then the OET and then believes that the OET is much more easier. And as a matter of fact, she wants to go in for the OET. There is no exam center in their country, and probably if she wants to persist, then she either has to do it online or travel to South Africa or something like that. So look at the availability of test centers in your locality. And if you still feel that there is no test center in your country and you are much more comfortable traveling to a different country, that is fair enough. So this one question you also have to answer. And the number 3 question you have to ask yourself is that, which institutions or countries are you writing the exams for or the test for? So first of all, I actually advise that you're not writing the IELTS or the OET for yourself. You are writing it for an agenda. So let's say if you want to register with the UKNMC, you need it for probably your registration or something like that. So now remember that the country you want to register in or the institution you want to register with is a major factor to consider. There are some people who would want to write the IELTS, meanwhile the institution they are applying for doesn't even request for IELTS or doesn't want IELTS. And then there are some people who are registering for OET, but the institution they want to apply to is not really much into the OET. So ask yourself, is the institution I'm writing these exams for much more interested in the exams I'm writing? Which of these 2 are they interested in? Is it OET, IELTS, or both? If it's both, then you have to consider the other factors I've talked about, and those I'll be talking about. But if at the end of the day you've got an institution that says I need only IELTS, then you don't have to worry yourself with the OET. Or if you've got an institution that says I only need OET, then you don't have to worry yourself with the IELTS. So answer this question as well, and you'll be able to choose between these 2. And then the number 4th question. Did I say number 4th? The number 4 question. Don't mind me. The number 4 question I've got on here is that, do the said institution or country accept only IELTS or OET or both? I've spoken about that already, so just look at the institution, that you are applying to or the country you want to apply to. And the last question you have to ask yourself and then try to find an answer to is, which can you get more help with? So let's say you want to write the IELTS, you want to write the OET. Now, remember that you can't do it on your own. You may need support. If you come to me and at the end of the day, let's say you want to write the OET, I can't really share much knowledge with you because I didn't write OET. If you come to me for IELTS support, I can really do that because I have much experience in the IELTS aspect. So let's say I'm a friend to you and you would want me to help you with the IELTS. As I said, I can do that, but not with OET. So what I'm trying to mean is that just look at the people around you, the tutors or lecturers out there, the YouTube videos out there. Which one of these two tests is actually dominating? That when you go to YouTube, probably really get much more of help with regards to the OET, especially if you don't have any persons who are much into the OET or the IELTS. Or let's say if you go to YouTube, you really get much more notes or information on the OET. And looking at the online courses around, which of these two tests do they talk about more? Is it the IELTS or the OET? And then basically looking at the people around you, the teachers, the courses, and those classes ongoing. The question is, are they much into the IELTS or the OET? So you are looking at which one you can really get more help, just as you'll be looking at which ones you can get much more practice materials. So basically these are the 5 questions you have to consider if you want to choose between the IELTS and the OET. I think that once you get answers to them, basically you'll be able to choose right and that you won't regret. Sometimes I just feel like there are some people who should have written OET and passed once, but instead wrote IELTS and then have not passed or are still struggling to pass. And then there are others who were supposed to write the IELTS and are writing OET and are still struggling. So just look at all these factors and you'll be able to choose which one is best for you. I strongly believe that these 5 points would help you to make an informed decision. If you think probably whatever I've said here makes much more sense, just give me a thumbs up or just comment in the comment section and let's take it from there. I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye.